Live from our studio audience, it's 5 More Minutes, Mom, with your hosts, Brielle and Guerlain, on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah. My name is Brielle.
I'm Guerlain.
And welcome to 5 More Minutes, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the podcast where we talk about all of our favorite TV shows and movies and books from childhood.
Yes. So where we just discuss those things and how it impacted us into our adulthood and how we view life and whatnot. We get all philosophical and whatnot. All that jazz.
At the bottom of the screen is a roller that has all of our social media. You can find us at 5MMMETV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please give us a like. Please give us a follow. Also look at ETB Network, which is like our little umbrella producer. They have a really cool, social media. So check them out as well.
Yes, please feed the algorithm gods. Praise them. Praise them.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So today is going to be kind of an easy I think like maybe not like quiet episode, but like we're going to be talking about like our comfort movies, our comfort TV shows, because I feel like a lot of the times those tend to be like stuff from your childhood that you watch. And I'm just wondering if like you still watch movies and stuff from your childhood because it gives you comfort, or if you've like moved on and you have like comfort movies that are a little bit more recent.
Right.
My earrings are like, yeah. And look at my earrings, they're oranges.
It's so cute. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're oranges.
Um, what are movies that you find yourself constantly revisiting?
So I watch Aristocats
Mm,
all the time. It is my favorite Disney movie, and I watch it all the time. Um, and so I watch that one a lot. I watch Kiki's Delivery Service a lot because one, I think I feel like any Miyazaki movie, not all of them, but I feel like a lot of Miyazaki movies are very like calming because
mm,
they're usually very pastoral, and they're very usually there's something kind of quiet about them. Like if there's action, if there's drama, it's usually not super in your face. And Kiki's Delivery Service especially, I really like because I just want to be Kiki so bad. I just want to live in like a cute little apartment with my cat and be a witch. So I'm already two parts there. I have a cute little apartment and I have a cat. I just need to be a witch and then I can be Kiki.
Oh my god, you're gonna start practicing witchcraft?
No, I mean, I
Imagine.
could. I do know people who practice witchcraft,
Oh.
but it doesn't actually really interest me, like
Mm.
actual witchcraft. Like I wish, like if it was more like Harry Potter, I'd probably like it, but it's not. So I don't really want to. I'm not really interested in it.
I
No
got you, I
shade.
got
I
you.
mean, if you're a witch, good for you. Cool.
Right.
um, I also watch like I also watch like a lot of like TV show like I watch a lot of like TV shows as like comfort TV shows, and they're not necessarily like I watch Blue's Clues. I'm
Mm,
watching Blue's Clues right now. So usually I'll like turn on Blue's Clues if I just kind of don't want to think for a little bit, and I'll just like sit back and like kind of zone out with Blue's Clues.
mm.
Um I also do that with Bluey. Um and I'm trying to think of other comfort. I feel like a lot of times like my comfort movies are like old musicals because I grew up personally like on old movies and old musicals like from like the 50s and 60s cuz like my family is a big like musical theater family
Mm.
and I'm a like theater kid myself. So, I'll watch Singing in the Rain, as like a comfort movie. I'll watch, Grease. I'll watch I'll watch what else will I watch? I watch like The Wizard of Oz. I'll watch, like Top Hat or The Gay Divorcee or something.
Mm.
So yeah.
What do you think that is like? So you said with Kiki's delivery, uh, is because like how calming
Yeah.
those movies typically are. So that makes sense. But what the other stuff? What about it for you? Do you think like that does it bring back old memories? Does it bring you back to a time or a time that you wish you lived in? Like what about it is like very comforting besides Kiki?
Um, I think it's the familiarity.
Mm,
So I've seen like Singing in the Rain. I've seen it hundreds of times. I know exactly what happens. I know exactly when it happens. So I think knowing that I can turn on the movie and nothing's going to surprise me and I don't have to really pay attention if I don't want to, because sometimes like I want to watch a movie I've never seen before and I want to like be engaged, and other times you want something on TV but you're not really invested in like watching it. You kind of just want to like turn your brain off like after work or something.
all right.
There's science behind it. I don't know the science. There's science behind it. So turning on the Aristocats, a movie that I've watched since I was a little kid, it's nice because it's like I can just relax. I can watch the movie and let my eyes glaze a little and I can, kind of, and I think it brings me back a little bit to when I was younger,
Mm,
back when watching movies was like something also that was very like calm and relaxed because I didn't have any responsibilities as a child.
right.
So I think that's part of it. I think definitely part of it, at least for me, I think a lot of it is the familiarity of it because I have so, like, me as a person, I have such a hard time starting new TV shows. You
Mm,
could you could go on and on and on about how great a TV show is. You could be like, "Brielle, it has all your favorite actors. It every episode is great, like, I promise, nothing bad, it's all good." And I would still, oh my gosh, I have such a hard, honestly, the fact that I watched Our Flag Means Death, which, like, subtle, Our Flag Means Death. The fact that I watched Our Flag Means Death when it came out, like, actually when it came out, I think I was only, like, a month off of when it was, like, premiered, is mind-boggling. Because normally a show like that, I'd see it all over the internet and, like, all over Tumblr and be like, "Oh, that looks cool. Oh, it has everything I want." I'm
mm,
not gonna watch it though, I'm just gonna think about watching it. So for me to be able to, like, turn on SpongeBob or turn on Blue's Clues, it helps, like, ease some of that anxiety, I think.
mm,
And so I'll watch a few episodes of SpongeBob and then I'll feel up to maybe watching a movie I've never seen or watching or starting a TV show that I've never seen. Like, it gives me kind of, I guess, like, in a weird way, some, like, strength and comfort that, like, if I don't like this show, if I don't like this movie, there's always SpongeBob. There's always Blue's Clues. There's always, Labyrinth.
mm. That makes a
So
lot of
that's
sense, and it is a little weird starting because I'm the same way. I'm in the same boat as you.
yeah,
Starting a completely new thing, in terms of media, like watching a new movie, watching a new TV show,
yeah.
it is it's like there's a level of commitment there
Yes,
that you have to like,
absolutely.
you have to set aside time because it's something that you're consuming for the first time. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of it.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't get that at first. Like, I have a friend. His name is Leaf, and he has a list of animes and music and just a list of things he has to consume. Like he set aside to consume.
yeah,
And every time he and I talk, like we talk a lot about music. I'm like, oh, like such and such album just came out, and he's like, I didn't get to it, man. I was like, yeah, I'll probably hear your review in like 2026 or something.
yeah,
But it wasn't until recently I was like, I get it now. I get the level of commitment. I get like why it takes so long to get to something because yeah,
yeah,
you really do have to just like not
yeah,
clear your whole schedule, but you have to like set your mind to that place of okay, this is something new. I'm gonna take it in. Gotta,
yeah.
yeah.
I think yeah, I think you have to be in the right mindset to
Mhm.
start something new. Even if it's something that you know you're gonna enjoy, you have to kind of be in the right mindset, and that's why I think it's really helpful when you watch shows and movies with other people. Um,
Mm.
like have very fond memories of, like, watching, because my best friend loves K-dramas. They're not really my thing, but she really loves K-dramas. She really loves, like, C-dramas, which are Chinese dramas versus Korean dramas, and
Right.
I probably would never watch them if it weren't for her kind of making me, not in a mean way, but, like, making me watch them and, like, making me sit there, and I usually always enjoy it. Like, I've enjoyed everything that we watched together, but I know for a fact that, like, I wouldn't have, like, chose that myself, and so I really appreciate, like, having her there, and so, that's kinda nice having someone to push you out of your comfort zone.
That is nice, yeah.
You know? So instead of watching, Aristocats for the 15th time, I'll try watching something that she recommended.
Mm.
And it's
For
usually always good.
for me, it's
What are your comfort movies? Like, what do you watch when you're feeling kind of yucky or blue or, a little sad or something? What do you watch?
you see that doesn't it's very seasonal for me.
Okay.
Um, like say it's autumn and
Mhm.
it's always November for some reason. Like sometimes like late October, all of November. That's when I set aside a time to like rewatch stuff. Um, typically Over the Garden Wall is a
Mm.
common one. My sister and I we watch that. Um, there's another Cartoon Network short series called Long Live the Royals. Very niche, very obscure. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a
Yeah,
fun
you
watch.
told me about that one, I think.
Mm. It was when like
Again, I haven't watched it because
it takes
I
time.
decided
Yeah,
to watch something else for the 15th time.
no, I get it. I get it. Um, but it just when it comes to Over the Garden Wall and Long Live the Royals, it's specifically because it was around a time where Cartoon Network was just. It seems like they were just like they were letting creators have fun creatively and like picking up these random shows and there was something so cool about it, just being a week. And my sister and I were like really into it
Mhm.
when it first came out. Like it was like 2014, Over the Garden Wall, 2015, Long Live the Royals. Um, so like that's our nostalgia. That
Mhm.
every I say November. She's like, it doesn't matter. Like it's autumn. Let's just watch it. I was like, no, we have to wait until November.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one. Coraline.
Mm.
Coraline is another one in November-ish. Uh, what else? Scoreline. Oh, one that I watch by myself. So those three I watch with my sister all the time. And one that I watch by myself is Samurai Champloo.
Yes.
Um, I guess for the same reasons why you like Kiki is like just how even it's an intense show in terms of action, but it's just something calming about the music
Mhm.
produced by Nujabes who passed unfortunately. But like the beats that he made for that show and the sound selection, the music selection for that show is just really calming. Especially when like they're fighting, but yet the music is calm and it just creates this weird euphoric ambiance,
Okay.
if you will.
Yeah.
Uh, so I watched that. So that's autumn, and then save winter. Winter, I would typically it'll be Cowboy Bebop
Right.
because of how cold it is. Like I just
Okay.
want match that energy. Right now, I'm rewatching Samurai Jack. So that might be a winter thing if I feel it's cool. It's just a lot of action stuff, but like calming action because Samurai Jack is really subdued. He rarely speaks, but when he does, it's important or it's
Yeah.
funny. And then again, the action is just amazing. Same with Cowboy Bebop, very slow pace,
Mm.
but when it picks up, it picks up. That's just my vibe. And I guess from when I get overstimulated, you know,
Mhm.
because a lot happens in everyone's life. Everyone's life is different, but whether it's work or a relationship or uh, whatever you're dealing with, you know, people get overstimulated, whether you know it or not. You get overstimulated, and just to be able to sit down and just consume this thing that you, again, like you said, like you're familiar with. It's just, yeah. I mean, that's why they call it a comfort, right?
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, so does that. You know what I recently just started watching? Well, I watched and it was fucking amazing. Now it's gonna become my comfort now. John Wick. I never watched John Wick before.
I love John Wick.
It's a
I don't know
great.
if
Mhm,
I could make that my comfort movie. I think
mhm.
it's just there's too much in it, but I definitely agree that it's a great movie. Like, I love those movies.
All three of them. I binge watched them, and I was for me it's comfort because it has the same characteristics of everything I just described. Like it's action. It's very action. It's very in
Yeah.
your face. But though okay, it's the way the action is filmed. There's
Oh,
rarely any cuts because in today,
yeah,
and we spoke about this before.
yeah,
Um, with a lot of action movies today, it's like cut after cut after cut after cut. Like you throw a punch, you don't actually see the punch connect until the next cut, and it's like, what am I
yeah.
watching? But with John Wick, it was like single shot. It will stay on a shot for like 30 seconds. I'm like, this
Yes.
is amazing. I could follow the action. The choreography is impeccable.
Yeah.
Like, bro. So it's just something about it. It gives me that calmness to watch
Yeah.
something like that that makes it comfort for me. And
Okay,
obviously,
yeah, if that's what works for you. I mean, I
yeah.
go for it, man. Watch John Wick, definitely. Like, oh man, I love John Wick. I think there's when I saw the you want to hear a funny story.
Mm,
So when I watched the third movie with my friend and there was and as you know because you've seen it, there's a dog in the third movie. It's like Halle Berry's dog.
yeah.
And I was like to my friend, I was like, does anything happen to this dog? Like, does this dog die? And he goes, no, Brielle, the dog doesn't die. And I went, okay. And then the dog, spoilers, gets shot, but it's fine. It's wearing like a bulletproof vest.
Right.
But the dog gets shot, and I literally, spoilers, and I would literally turn to my friend and I was like, fuck you.
In the theater or like where were
No,
you?
at his house, and
Oh,
I
okay.
was so like, I said "fuck you" with such anger, like, and he was like, "Oh my god," and then the dog got up, and I was like, "Never mind."
I mean, yeah, it's sad to see animals get hurt in these stuff.
Yeah, but luckily all the animals are okay, except for the first one, but that's
Except for the
okay.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's different. I know people whose like comfort movies are like horror movies because
Mm,
they've seen it so much that number one, it's not really scary anymore, and number two, they know when the scares are coming, so they're able to get that catharsis without really like being scared. Because I think that's also something that is why people choose certain movies as their comfort movies. Like sometimes you want to cry, so you're like, I know I'm going to watch a movie that will make me cry,
mm.
and so you watch it because you know it'll make you cry, and you need that release. You need that like comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything makes me cry, so it's not hard, but
No, but yeah, you're just you're a big softie,
I
aren't you?
am a big softie. I am a big softie. Um, like if I ever really wanted to cry, I'd probably need to watch, like, maybe, like, Coco or Encanto,
Mm.
because
Yeah, that's a
those
good one.
made me sob. Those made me sob.
Those are good,
They're
heartwarming
great
stuff.
movies. They're really great. They hit you so hard to be, like, kids movies. Yeah, so, yeah, I just think, like, everybody's so different and so individual, like, no I'm sure, like, you could poll 100 people, and none of them are gonna have the same, like, comfort movie that they put on, um, because everybody finds different things comforting, everybody wants kind of different things, um, and I think that's really wonderful. I think it's great that, like, we have all this media, especially like children's media that like we can put on when we're feeling maybe less than great,
Right, yeah. Yeah,
because
bring us
like
back to the time.
yeah, because like because when I'm feeling kind of yucky and like bleh, all I need to do is put on, Aristocats or put on to be honest, put on any Disney movie, put on Aristocats, put on 101 Dalmatians, and I feel better, because it's like this movie is a good movie, it's a happy movie, nothing surprising is gonna happen. I can just sit back and relax and, like, just kinda watch it?
Mm.
And I think that's great. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking about?
What?
The thing about like the early 2000s, and
Mhm.
I remember I said this during a previous episode. I was like, there was some type of the energy around the early 2000s when it came to media. This is a specific energy. Like there's something interesting about it. Specific,
Okay.
and I think I pinpointed it, what it was. It was a time. Now, hear me out. This might be
Okay.
a little. It was a time where that whole macho, like boys world type of stuff was actually bearable. And that's what I mean by that is you think WWE, you think early 2000s WWE, that was like around their attitude era. That's when, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, um, just very in your face, just macho, like, you know, a lot of the stuff that The Rock said back then wouldn't fly today. But at the time, it just had like a certain um like it was certain like I'm not gonna say charm, but some lower than charm, but enough for it to like keep it there is that. And I think Hot Wheels. Some about Hot Wheels, uh because when around that time Hot Wheels had like two 3D animated movies that they did. One was called The World Race,
Okay.
Highway 95, I think, and the other one was Acceleracers. Just like stuff to entertain little boys, right?
Okay.
Again, that's actually better than WWE, but it's just something about that energy is just like, yeah, is not so okay now when it comes to, just, oh, boys will like this, girls wouldn't like this, so like we market this towards that, and nothing for girls. But at that time, it was like girls could watch it too, and still get something out of it, even though it wasn't marketed towards them. Um, what I'm trying to say is just, I don't know. It's just like
What are you trying to say?
it's just that energy. It's something about
Okay.
that energy.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, but, like, what are you saying about that energy that did something? Like, you're making an observation, good, and now you
Mm.
have to connect it to something. I'm not
It-
disagreeing with you. I'm
no,
actually kind of agreeing with you because I think in the 2000s there was a real weird, like, hyper masculinity that existed, and there were very strict, I feel like there were very strict gender roles.
mm.
Like, it was very like boys do this and girls do this, and like there was that, the awful like resurgence of like, ew, bro, that's so gay, that happened, you know, in that time period. So you're onto something, but what are you saying?
But you see, I wasn't exposed to any of that stuff.
Okay.
Like, so the stuff that I'm trying to like get at is just, hmm, it was just something, not to say warm, but just like it was okay. And not okay as, oh, it was a time period, we let it slide. But there was some there's I mean, there's certain things about it that we shouldn't have let slide. But the stuff that was okay, no matter what the time period was, there's something about that. Um, where it's like you could like be like be a boy or whatever. Like you're growing up, be a boy, but it wasn't necessarily like, boys rule, girls drool. It was just more of like, this is awesome, right? Like cars racing, right? Like what we could
Okay.
go bad about that with a loose like storyline that kind of made sense, not really made sense, but it was enjoyable no matter. It's just
Are you trying to say that like you appreciate that in the 2000s, the push for gendered specific like toys and their marketing is good because you got all these cool movies out of it. Is that what you're saying?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's something to say. Okay, because I could counteract that and say, yeah, there are a million Barbie movies. Like,
Mm,
okay, so that's what you're saying. You're saying that like even though it wasn't always the best kind of point of view, the heavily gendered toys of the early 2000s and the fact that so many of them pushed to make movies to sell those toys actually had a benefit for you because you got these really cool kind of boys movies out of it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, if that's what you're saying, then that's what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong because I love Barbie movies. I think they're honestly really good, and they were made to sell toys. Like you
Right.
can't deny that. And and I mean, how many TV shows existed on the Hub, which was a television network made to sell toys, and so many people love My Little Pony, and that's a lot of people's comfort show. So like, I get it, you know.
Yeah. What else was that? Like you mentioned the hub, like Transformers. I was
Yeah,
big on Transformers, so that was a
yeah,
thing. Um, yeah, yeah, you hit it on the nose. That's
yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's just like it doesn't necessarily matter the like origin of it. If it's a TV show that brings you comfort, then that's what it is and that's what it does. And you kind of have to just, accept that and be happy about it. There's nothing wrong with liking these shows. There's nothing wrong with like enjoying them. They provide a sense of, nostalgia for you and they provide a sense of happiness for you. And I think that's good.
yeah.
I have nothing against it, you know? Yeah. I
It's
was
just
like for a second, I was like, "What is he talking about?" Like, I had no idea what you were getting at. I really for a second, I was like, "I"
no, it's just because it's like it's kind of hard to like really pinpoint because it's just a certain thing that's I feel is sort of missing today. I can only name examples, but they all like have a similar aura to them. Like I think Toonami and how Tom the host was like how they built him like it was like a robotic, but like had like somewhat like muscles. What would be
Yeah,
muscles for a robot? There's something about that, you
okay.
know, and it's just like when I think early 2000s, like those are the stuff that comes to my head. Like even the Barbie stuff.
Mhm.
'Cause, like, is that? Cause I like how you broke it down about how, you got movies out of these. And I was into some of the Barbie stuff too, I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Because they showed a lot of them on Nickelodeon,
yeah, and they had
around that
classical
time.
music, which was nice.
Yeah, that was nice, yeah.
Mm.
Um, it was just okay, yeah, it wasn't necessarily in your face that this is for a certain type of, this is what a certain type of demographic, so you can't watch this or you could watch this. So yeah, exactly what you said. That it was just okay. Like stuff was there for everyone, and like just consume it if you want. It
Yeah,
wasn't so like the negativity that you previously touched on when you say, oh, like oh no homo dude or blah 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 yada yada.
yeah.
Like that stuff. Yeah, that's what I wasn't exposed to. It was just like, hey,
Well,
if
I
you
mean, I'm
watch,
glad of that,
yeah, me too.
that you weren't
Thank God.
exposed to that. Um,
Um, mm,
because I know boys that probably would never watch a Barbie movie, and they're missing out, but so it's nice that you kind of went past that you didn't necessarily feel that way, and so you watched everything, which I think is good.
yeah, even the Winx Club, I was into that.
Mm.
It's
I
like,
was
oh.
never into those.
Mm.
I guess even as a kid, I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, "But why are they dressed like that? Like,
Mm,
what's the point? Why are they dressed like that? Is it actually feminist for them to be dressed like that?"
mm.
Hmm, you know.
It's that I never took into account, like, how they were dressed, like, now, obviously, I
Yeah. Okay,
I
so
do that.
then yeah. Also I found the pacing very weird for Winx Club. I think that
Mm,
might have had to do because it was like Italian and they were like dubbing, but then again also I can't really well, I mean I can complain a little bit cuz Sailor Moon was only like vaguely at when they were in their Sailor Scouts, but like when they were just like in the city, they dressed normally. So
mm.
um And they were Sailor Scouts. They had to wear sailor suits. That was the point.
I had a reason.
They had a reason. Um, and Sailor Moon was made by a woman. So, anyway, okay, yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, we're going to put that roller so you can get our social media. Please give us a like. Please give us a follow. Leave a comment. Tell us what your comfort movie is. What movie do you like to watch when you're feeling kind of yucky and gray and you need to cheer up? And what TV show have you watched for the millionth time? Is it The Office? A lot of people do that with The Office. I don't do it
Yeah.
with The Office, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, and like, is there like a time schedule to your comfortness? Like, do you watch it like I do, like autumn, winter, summer, like specific stuff? Like, let us know. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Later.
Bye.